Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today is going to be a Q&A with me and Charlie. Isn't it, Chunk? So I've just popped him in Lucy's stable and I thought I'd just sit here and answer you guys' questions so he can just be doing his thing in the background. No doubt he'll spend most of the time stood here next to me because that's what he likes to do most. So I asked you guys on Instagram what you wanted me to answer. And so I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'll be saying usernames and things as we go, so don't worry, if you did ask a question you will get credit for it. So I'm going to start with one which kind of explains why I'm making this video. So Tonic Water 111 asked, when are you going to start jumping Chili again? So the plan was to start jumping Chili today. And then his allergies were super bad today, so we tacked him up, we were all ready to go, the jumps were all ready, and his allergies were just terrible. So like he was head bobbing, he was sneezing, he was scratching constantly, so we had to scrap that plan. So I'd spent all morning preparing to jump and filming like an intro to all that, and then we didn't jump. So as a last minute kind of, oh no, I need to upload tomorrow, I decided to do a Q&A. So we were meant to start today, but now it looks like it's going to be next week because we've got a few things, get back in. Because we've got a few things over the weekend, which means that I won't be riding really. So it's going to be next week when we, hopefully, if his allergies are not playing up, that is when we will start to jump. So kind of sticking with that theme, Naomi_XXO asked, do you regret getting Chili because of his breathing problems? So obviously when we got Chili, we didn't know that he had really severe allergies. He was either being very well maintained at his last place, or they were putting him on something so it hid the side effects. So we don't know. He was 5-star vetted, so it should have come up that there was something going on, but obviously we just didn't know, and it took us a few months to work out what was wrong with him. So I don't regret buying him at all because I love him to pieces. He's such an amazing horse. I absolutely wish he didn't have it. And had we known before we bought him that he had it, we wouldn't have bought him because he was a lot of money and we bought him to compete, and because of his allergies we can't compete. So no, we wouldn't have bought him, but I don't regret buying him because now he's part of the family and we love him to pieces. We're not getting rid of him or anything, so I don't regret it, but hindsight, if we'd have known, we wouldn't have bought it. Emily.equi with 3 eyes asked, describe your dream horse. So my dream horse would be about 15 hands. I was doing a poo. So my dream horse would be around 15 hands because I think that's an ideal height for me. Sort of anything above 14.1 and below 16 hands would be perfect. I love greys, so I'd get a grey, and it would probably be like a Connemara or sort of something with Welsh in it or something like that, like something that's got a bit about it, but I would want something that show jumps. Like, I just love jumping, and obviously I don't actually have the horses really to do that. We bought Chili to jump and he has all his allergies. So yeah, that would be my dream horse, would be about 15 hands, grey show jumper. Get back. So Holly LD, I don't know, it's hard to tell on Instagram, asked, do you plan to always live on the farm and build your own house? No, I do not plan to always live on the farm. Obviously the farm is my parents'. I was actually looking to buy a house before all of this happened with lockdown. I was in the process of looking for my own house. Obviously the horses would stay here, I'd still come and look after them or anything, but ever since I went to university and lived on my own and moved out of like my family home, I don't like being back like living in my parents' house. I've just done it to save money to buy out my own. So yeah, I am moving out at some point. What are you doing? But it won't really affect YouTube or anything, because the horses will still be here and I'm not moving far away, so yeah. So Mona, Mia and Misty asked, what kind of breeds would you suggest for the different stages of rider? Right, so I get asked literally every single day on Instagram, I'm looking to buy my first horse, what breed do you suggest? Or I'm looking to loan a horse, what breed do you suggest? And my answer to that is no breed. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm a novice, so I need this breed. Or, like, obviously, if you're doing a specific job, like show jumping, you normally buy a warm blood. Racing, it's going to be a thoroughbred. Do you know what I mean? Like, but in terms of a horse for stages of your like riding career, there's no right or wrong. It's all down to temperament and experience. So yeah, don't go on breed. It's on temperament, it's on experience. I mean, look at me, I've got 6 horses. They're all different. Not one of them's like the same breed. The closest we've got is a Welsh A and a Welsh C. And like, in terms of novice, he's probably the best for a novice. But then I wouldn't want a novice to own him because he's naughty. I am. And he's got issues. Yeah. But yeah, so don't buy horses based on breed unless it's like for a specific job. You're looking for temperament and you're looking for experience. For example, my friend, her first horse was a thoroughbred. Most people would say, don't buy a thoroughbred as your first horse. Her horse is fantastic as a first horse and as a novice horse. What are you doing? Okay then. So x.jessica.withers.x asked, what's the worst situation / fall you have been in? So I've had 2 major falls my entire riding career, which has actually been 22 years. The first one was when I was younger and I broke and dislocated my shoulder. I don't know why I'm pointing to my right, it was my left. That was my most traumatic. The worst one in terms of injuries was when I got kicked in the face. So if you haven't seen my kind of story time video, I'll link it below. Basically, I was riding at university in my 3rd year of uni, and I was riding for a show jumper who owned 2 horses. Well, they owned many horses, but I was riding 2. I rode one, and then I got on the youngster, who was like a really flighty 16-hand 5-year-old or 6-year-old or something like that. And to this day I don't know what happened, but because I got knocked unconscious, but I know I came off and the horse kicked me in the face. So I broke my jawbone in 3 places, I lost a tooth, it cut my eye open, I got concussion. Yeah, that was really bad in terms of injuries, and my face swelled up for about 6 weeks. But yeah, that was really bad. I didn't actually lose my confidence that time. I lost my confidence with my first accident. Charlie, why are you like this? But that was the worst in terms of injuries. So to go along nicely with that, it's_Abby_1185 asks, how did you get your confidence back after falling off and breaking your face? It didn't really affect my confidence that badly. When I broke and dislocated my arm, I lost my confidence for about 4 years. But when I did my face, it didn't actually affect me that badly. I'd always say, at the first opportunity, get back on a ride. Don't push yourself too far, take baby steps, get confident on the ground again, because if horses are generally scaring you, then you need to have confidence on the ground, try and ride a horse that is new. And this might sound crazy, but I find that if I know the horse, I'm less confident. Whereas if someone came up to me tomorrow with a off-the-track thoroughbred and said get on it, I would. But then sometimes I'll look at Chili and I know because of his mood that he's in, I already feel unconfident, and because I know what he's capable of, and I already know him too well, and I can pick up little things that are different with him. So even though he's not being naughty, I'll suddenly feel really conscious that he's going to do something. Whereas if I'm riding a brand new horse that I don't know if this is normal for them, I don't know if this isn't, I ride them better. So yeah, I'd say maybe, you know, go to a riding school. So yeah, I'd say maybe go to a riding school. Charlie, you are not scratching your bum on me. Maybe go to a riding school, or if you have a friend who has a horse. Charlie! Chung! He's trying to use me as a... Charlie! No! Go on! Is my back wide now? For goodness sake, Charlie. Well, what was I even saying? Yeah, if you've got a friend that has a horse that you know is well behaved, or go to a riding school and ride a new horse, and build your confidence up on that one if you're particularly scared of riding a certain horse, which is what I should have done with Taffy after my accident, but I was too stubborn. Let's see what else. What are you doing? So Equestrian 220507 asked, have you ever considered getting another horse? Yes, constantly. I am terrible. It's like one of those things that once you go above like 2 horses, you can't stop buying them. But we are at full capacity. We have no room for more stables. We have no more money to spend on horses. We have no more field space because we use the front field to cut hay on. So yeah, we're at capacity. I am never ever having more than 6 horses, and also I don't think it would be fair because the horses now get enough attention, and I think if we had 7, it would just be too much for them all to get the attention they deserve. So no more horses are coming. Me and my mum have said that if anything did happen to any of them, because obviously we've got some older boys, like Taffy's 31, Danny's getting on. So when they do pass, we would probably then get me another horse and get me my show jumper that is of the correct height without allergies. So that would happen if one of the horses passed away, but we're not planning on selling any, we're not planning on getting rid of any, just if one of the old boys, you know, came to the end of their life, then that would be when we would get another horse. Hey babe. So lots of people have asked me who is my favourite horse or pony. I don't really have a favourite. I love them all equally, like they are all my babies. Like I like some of them more than others though, even though I love them all the same. Just because like everyone loves Caramel because she's cute, but if you knew Caramel really, she's a little diva and she makes my life a nightmare, but I still love her. Like, I don't know, I don't have a favourite. The ones that I'm closest to are Charlie and Chili. So Charlie is my absolute baby, aren't you? He just loves people, he adores attention, and I just love him. He's got such a sweet character. And he's just he's like a big puppy. Like, you're just lovely, aren't you? You can do anything with him apart from put him in a trailer. He'll never do much under saddle. He doesn't particularly like being ridden. So he's kind of a bit of a field ornament. Apart from we are riding out now. But yeah, I just love him. You're my babe. And because Charlie, I mentioned before, gave me back my confidence with riding, I just owe so much to him. But then in the same respect, I owe so much to Taffy, because Taffy was the pony I've done everything with, like I competed with, and he taught me everything I know in terms of riding, like properly. So it's hard to say in that respect. So Samantha_Equine_ asked, when is the giveaway winner going to be announced? So if you've not already entered my giveaway, be sure to do that. The post is over on Instagram, so go check that out. And the winner is going to be announced on Wednesday at 1 p.m. McWilliams4 asked, what age did you start riding at and why did you choose to ride? So I didn't even choose to ride. I was born into a family of riders. So my mum is a horse rider, hence she's, you know, we share horses and things. So I have one older sister, and my older sister's actually allergic to horses. Chelsea's 9 years older than me, so like she's got her own family now with kids and she's married and everything. But when she was younger, my mum always wanted a little jockey, I suppose. And when Chelsea came along and mum found out that she was like allergic to them, obviously Chelsea couldn't be around them. So then 9 years later, when I appeared on the scene, my mum was very excited about having another daughter who could hopefully be a rider. So we already had my first pony. So my first pony was actually my sister's horse. He was called James. He was a little Dartmoor. If anyone remembers him from my old videos, he was amazing. I think one of the first things that my mum did with me when I left the hospital was take me to the horses. So from being literally a newborn baby, I've been around horses, because my mum, having just had me, went straight back into like looking after her horses. And I remember one of my earliest memories is I was tiny and I could only just sit up, and my mum used to put me on our horse's Sovereign, whose name was at the time. I used to sit on his withers and hold his mane, and my mum used to look out around me, and he was massive. He was like 17 hand 1, 17 2, and I used to sit on him as a baby. But yeah, I've literally been riding my entire life, and competing since the age of 3. I think I was 3. I've got photos of me in my show gear with a dummy in. So yeah, literally all my life, and my mum has been my instructor my entire life. I have had obviously trainers and instructors over the years, but my mum's taught me everything I know. So yeah, very lucky that I was born into it, and I love it, because I also know a lot of people that were born into it then kind of resent it or don't want to do it just because, you know, it wasn't a choice in a way. But no, I absolutely love it. So Katie I don't know how to say that one, asked, what are your future life plans after the virus is over, such as more schooling or headed work? So my plans are to hopefully get a house. I want to do either my masters or some sort of training, because I really, really want a different job. So I have a degree, and I did my degree in animal science, for everyone asking. A lot of people ask me that. I did a degree in animal science at the University of Nottingham. But having come out of that, there wasn't really any jobs, especially near where I live, for that. So I also want to get a job with equine. I don't know whether I want it to be like sales or whether I want to actually be working with horses. I did consider doing that for a while. I did my dissertation specifically on racehorses, and I used to be really, really interested with working with racehorses as a dietitian. But I still haven't really decided exactly the route I want to go down. I would really like to work with horses, but it's just finding the right job and the right opportunities. So yeah, once this is all over, I'm going to be looking for a new job or looking to do more training towards the right job, whether that be a master's or whether it be a course or something like that. And to finally sort out buying a new house. They are my 2 main goals for after this. It's kind of getting my life together and getting it sorted. So a few people have asked me if I'll ever do a meetup. Yes, I will. I'd love to do a meetup. I have a few sort of plans for my YouTube now that we are getting bigger. We're nearly at 80k, and like it's grown a lot since I've been doing the daily videos and everything, so I'd really like to do more with YouTube. So in terms of meetups and things like that, I definitely will do them in the future. I've met a few of you guys at things like Olympia and stuff like that, so it'd probably you know, be something like that. But yeah, there is a lot more to come from my YouTube. Obviously my merch isn't currently on sale with lockdown and everything. I'm looking into new types of merchandise, shall we say. I have a few little things up my sleeve and things in planning stages. So yeah, you've got a lot more to come from me. So I will have a lot of things to announce in the future. So normally the first place I announce things is Instagram, and then if it's really big, it comes on my YouTube. But yeah, so I'll let you guys know about that. So I think we're gonna leave this video here. It is quite long. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So as I said, it's a bit of a substitute because the video I originally planned to do obviously didn't happen because of Chili's allergies. Story of my life. But thank you, Charlie, for being a good boy during this. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 12. Let me know in the comments what video you want to see. Because obviously I think this is 29, so we're nearly 30 videos in to lockdown. And it would be very nice to know what you guys specifically want to see. So if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you get a notification every time I post. And we are going to leave this here, guys, so I'll see you tomorrow at 12. Bye!